It's day 12.
Hi, I had to finish swallowing.
Your sparkle water.
I have a half fresh cup of sparkling water from our last.
I like sparkle water.
It's delish.
I have one child, though, that does not like anything carbonated, like at all.
My oldest does not like carbonation either.
Nope.
I think probably in their entire life, they've had like 12 sodas.
Oh, that's
like
probably more than mine.
Life,
yeah, that's probably
years.
More than my kid. Yeah. She just, no. I think it's because when she was like 2, I had a can of Pepsi and she didn't realize what it was. She was like 2.5, 3, and then she got a drink of it and the bubbles like totally startled her. And I don't know. We don't buy soda. We don't do soda, but I do like I like club soda or seltzer water. Yeah.
Yeah. I like sparkling water and seltzer.
Then we were talking about what's the difference between tonic and seltzer water.
Yeah, and I was going to tell you a story of how I experienced that for the first time. Don't mind me. We just recorded yesterday's and I finished frogging and I'm casting back on now.
So what were you doing around your neck there?
So do you not know the ×3 trick, right? So you cast on a little more than 3 times the length you need. So if I want the cowl to be, roughly that long, then I do that. And then that's the second amount. And then that's the third amount. And then I do a little bit more just in case, because it's pi, it's not 3, it's 3.14. So I'll do like a little bit more. And then that should be enough for me to cast on.
And so that would be where you do your slip knot right there?
Yeah, only I don't do a slip knot. I just twist it around, but that's not the right way. See, that's all I do. I just twist it around.
Yeah.
The Knitters Guild frowns upon that, but that's how it's taught. So that's how I do it. Anyway,
because you're
So we were talking about sparkle water. I'm a big fan of seltzer water, and we were on the tours in the spring, and go to dinners, and everybody's ordering gin and tonic because that's like gin's the big thing in Scotland right now. You would think it would be whiskey, right? But no, gin. Everybody's making gin. So
go figure.
But I don't drink, so gin's not for me. But I was interested in the tonic because I like sparkling water. And so Laura, I believe, very kindly gave me a little bit of her tonic in a glass and I drank it and will not be doing that again. It was gross.
Yeah, not the same as seltzer water.
It is not the same.
Or like club soda. What's the difference between club soda and seltzer?
I don't know, because there's sparkling water, there's seltzer, there's club soda.
It's all bottled water, but tonic is not the same.
Tonic, no, it has the quinine in it, so people wouldn't get malaria or whatever. What was it they would get in India?
Dysentery?
No, I think it was malaria. Was it malaria?
I'm sure. I have no idea.
It helped against some tropical disease. So that's when gin and tonics really took off, because of the British people going to India and getting whatever local disease. And they were like, hey, if we just drink this drink a lot.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with the gin being somewhat antiseptic. I have no idea. Anyway, so there you are enjoying your drink. Well, and you're finished your frogging and now you're having a do-over with your ramen yarn.
So my new plan is I'm going to add 4 more repeats. Okay. So that's 24 more stitches.
Make it bigger round.
Which is about a little less than a quarter of the cast on increase.
Okay.
And then I'm going to shorten the height of each of the repeats by taking out 4 rows.
Because you're the boss.
Because I'm the boss. So that way it'll be a little shorter and it'll be like a bigger one that hangs open a little bit more on my bigger person neck. And so that's my second attempt. We'll see if this works. I don't know if this will work, but we'll see if this works.
Has to go over your bigger person head. Also.
I got a bigger person head too. And I do love cowls. I love cowls. I don't like a cowl that I have to pull tightly over and then like fix my hair after. Because I'm vain. We've been over this.
We have. Okay. That's funny. Oh, okay. So, do you want to hear what I'm thinking about for Pearl Together for in the new year?
Yes, please
Okay.
tell me.
I don't know. Okay, now let me just put a disclaimer.
As soon as you say this, people are going to want you to do it. So
Well,
you
I'm
really
gonna
need
have to think about it because I don't have all the details worked out. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of features here. So people can drop comments down below if they have ideas or details.
Maybe they will have an idea that solves some of the problems.
Well, sure. I'm open to suggestions. So, all right, back in the back when Ravelry was new, I was part of a large group that I was helping to moderate. And one of the gals who was a co-moderator organized this and successfully facilitated this game. It was called the Sock Wars. So how this worked is you signed up, you sent an email to this person. Now this was back before Google Docs and all this, so we would update the process. But there wasn't Google Forms back then in 2007-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so you would register in whatever way to be a participant in the game. And this is an assassination situation.
Uh-huh.
So the person running the game, who's like being the Hunger Games kind of, what was her name?
I don't like who.
The controllers.
Well, they were like the president who was like Snow was.
I don't know. Okay,
Snow?
so I would be the president, right?
Okay.
Of the sock war.
Okay.
And if you want to participate, you would send in your form with your information, including color preferences, your foot size,
yeah,
etc., diameter measurements, all the things that I ask you for in the form if you choose to participate.
So is it speed? Or are you trying to? Okay, sorry.
You'll see. Okay. So then I choose a pattern, either of my own design or something out there that's free.
I think I remembered when this was happening in the.
I would choose a pattern. It's been done.
Yeah.
I would choose a pattern, but you don't know which pattern. If let's say you're a participant, I know you don't care to knit socks, but for the sake of my story,
hypothetically,
yes.
Hypothetically.
So I get all Anne's information and I match her up with her target, quote target. Let's say your target is someone that has a similar foot size, because wouldn't be really fair for you to have a size 10 foot and then you're knitting for someone that has a size 6. Not super fair. So I would match people up as best as I could. You would get your target's information as far as color preferences, foot size, measurements, and address. You would then, on the day that this starts, on the day the war begins, you receive an email at 12:01, whatever time I decide, you receive an email with your target information and the pattern.
Okay.
You know it's going to be fingering weight sock yarn. So, and you may have had some time. I may tell people color preferences ahead of time so they can go choose from their stash or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You knit as fast as you possibly can. And then when you get your target's pair of socks done, you stick it in the mail. If you're smart, you're going to spend the money and mail it overnight. When that person receives their sock, they have been killed. Assuming the sock fits them, it has to fit them.
Oh.
So there is some honor here. People have to be truthful. They try it on. If it fits, they have been killed. Then let's say
if the sock fits, you're dead.
That's right. If the sock fits, you're dead. So then that person who's just been assassinated, they have to send their uncompleted sock back to you to finish with their target information. So because they are now dead, they can't keep knitting. They have to mail their unfinished target sock back to you.
Oh, so then you finish knitting it and send it to the person they were assigned to
their
kill.
Target. So you could be the last knitter standing.
I see. Wow.
And then of course you'd win the big prize if you're the last knitter standing.
Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, if like overnight mail comes with tracking, so you know that it got to someone's house.
Mhm. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so in order
That's
to
wow.
participate, people have to be committed to, like, pay attention, post when they receive their stuff. They have to send me all the tracking numbers because if people, life happens. If somebody gets sick and they can't check in, then I would at least
Yeah.
know that the package arrived, like, as the
Right.
moderator, as the president of the sock war. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, because life happens. People have technological difficulties, whatever. But at least I would know that the package arrived, and then that person presumably is sock dead.
You're dead, Mr.
Yes,
Bond. Yeah.
yes. Then there'll also be prizes for like most creative death video. So when I did this before, like I didn't have a phone that did video.
Uh-huh.
Like, cause I still had one of those QWERTY phones with the little keyboard that went boop and it popped out the side. Do you remember?
Uh-huh.
So, but it took photos, or no, it didn't. I had a regular camera with a little card. So what I did was I put together like a slideshow thing with music in the background. I thought I was all techie and smart, and it was like the Western theme. And I put on a hat, I had boots, I had a 22 rifle, and I had the music in the background from do 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 do.
Yeah, of
Remember
course.
that? And then we did this thing where it was the boots walking, and then you see me laying on the ground in the gravel with the rifle up, and I had yarn spaghetti coming, red yarn coming out like I'd been shot. And then I had the socks there, that killed me.
Nice.
It was this whole
Nice.
thing. Yeah. So there'd be prizes for the most creative death video.
I like
And of
this.
course, the prize for the person who assassinates the
Yeah.
most of their sock knitters, of course.
Yeah. They
Yes.
should
So,
get like a ton of sock yarn for winning.
oh, yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah.
they will have knit a lot of socks
Yes.
by then.
Yes. So comment down below if you might be interested in participating in the sock war.
Yeah.
I'll have to decide. I don't know. When I did it, it was back in the day. My husband thinks I should charge a nominal fee for the administration of all of this.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if I decide to charge a nominal fee to play, it wouldn't be very much. So
Or you could do it on with your patrons. Or like people, because you have a $5 patron level. So you could do it like just
yeah,
join the patron for a month.
join the
and then
Patreon group, and then you can
Yeah.
participate in the sock war, and that might be a
Yeah.
lot of fun because if we did that, then we would run the whole thing over on my Patreon page where
Yeah.
people are commenting. That's not a bad idea, huh?
Yeah.
So anyway, if you're a patron, or even if you're not, comment below and tell me what you think of my sock war idea. It would
I
be an
like
updated version of the game that we did in 2008. Yeah.
I did remember like when the whole knitting internet was new and
The
we were
knitting
all
internet as opposed to the other internet
we were all young and optimistic. Um
when we were
and
young.
people would do yarn swaps all the time.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you'd
on
get signed
Ravelry.
up to do a yarn swap.
Yeah.
And I did one. It's fine. Like usually it was like, do you have yarn you don't love? Let's send it to someone who might love it kind of
Yeah.
exchange.
Yeah.
And I did those from time to time, but the one I loved the most was you would pick out a yarn that was a good yarn, but you didn't love, and you would send it on to someone, and you would get yarn from someone, right?
Right.
So then you would knit that yarn into something and then send it on to the person that you sent the yarn to. So that person will have received yarn from you and knit something and sent it on to another person. So you are getting yarn to work with, and then you knit a project and send it on as well. So I forget what yarn I sent off, and I forget now what I made with the yarn I got, but I got something, I made something, I sent it on. I was happy with it. I hope they were too. Who knows? The person who sent me the yarn, they received a yarn that was like gold with like specks of color in it. And it was a man-made fiber and was just like, you wouldn't want to wear it against your skin. It really wasn't a very pleasant fiber. It was one of those like early 2000s novelty-ish
Yeah,
yarns,
yeah.
that were kind of like, what were we thinking? But she reached out to me and was like, tell me about yourself, like whatever. And so I told her I had 2 kids. So she knit 2 crowns and 2 golden aprons. And so it became like a little dress up set for them to be. I thought that was like the cutest.
I'll bet they loved it.
They did. And we had that for ages. I think we finally gave it away when we were moving back to the US because it was like, you guys aren't going to, there's little kids here who could appreciate this, but yeah, it was very cute.
Cool. That's cool. What a neat thing to do with that.
Yeah. And I've always been like, I should organize something like that because it really was really fun. But I think with that one, there were a lot of people who didn't see it through. And so then the organizer was really like up the creek without a paddle, like was having to reorganize like who was sending what to whom. And
right.
Because like some people never set the yarn like they were gonna, and then some people never finished the knitted project like they were supposed to.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll have to decide. Like, I would have to have provisions for that. What happens if people don't follow through, or what happens if like the recipient that gets their sock, what if they don't fit, or if it's not knitted to pattern?
Yeah,
or not knitted to gauge.
Yeah, then they're not dead, right? The other person has to knit another one and try and kill them again.
Yeah, they'll have to be, they'd only be wounded, right? I don't know. There would have to be some provisions for that. So, I'll have to think. Yeah, I feel like it needs some more thought.
Sorry, I'm counting my cast on.
I can tell you're counting. That's all right.
100, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, I went over by about 12.
Okay.
But that's okay.
We were talking. That's all right.
We were talking. We were having a good time. Oh, Jana.
So we'll have to decide about the sock wars and see if I'll have to think that through and, write the terms and conditions.
Right. Yeah, like maybe if the sock doesn't fit, then it's like the gun backfired on the person. And so then they're wounded and, if
or maybe they're dead. If they can't knit to gauge, maybe they're dead.
Maybe they're dead.
Because then the person that received it is going to have to decide, do I frog it or what do I do? Do I find a different foot that it fits or?
But what happens? Because don't they then just have one sock?
What? No, you don't send it till you send the pair.
Oh, okay. See, the way you were talking, it sounded like you were knitting a sock and sending it on.
Sorry, a pair of socks.
And that was the part where I was kind of like, I don't understand, like, why we're all knitting one sock and sending them on.
No, I think when I participated in this in like 2008, I think that's the fastest I've ever knit a pair of socks. And I had little kids then. My kids were like, how old were they?
Well, 2008.
3 and 5. They would have been 3 and 5. And they're like, Mommy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you going to get up? It's snack time. You know what I mean? I'm like,
you're like, I can't. My life is on the line.
I remember that. Oh, and I just stayed up. I just hardly slept because, that's when they're sleeping and when I could knit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were like 3 and 5. It was ridiculous. But it was in the summer, so they played outside a lot.
Yeah. Oh, those were the days when you could just send the kids out to play outside. Oh, good times.
Or I went out too. I'd go out too and sit in shade and knit.
But man, I loved that. That was great times. Like, hey, kids, go play outside. And they would, and they'd love it. And they'd come in like all a little sweaty and stinky in that like fun little kid way, Yeah, the tired, like, I want a snack and take a nap kind of way.
Yeah, love that.
That was good mom times.
Now they're 18 and 20.
Ugh.
They don't do that anymore.
I know.
I will have to say, though, sometimes my 17-year-old, she'll be like in the afternoon, she'll be like, can we take a nap? I'm like, yes.
Let's do that.
And I'm like, she will come and lay in the big bed with me.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We get TV cuddles still, so that's nice.
Good.
We're watching a show.
Yeah. Should we open day 12?
I suppose so. I started knitting. I'm on the first round, guys.
Okay, you go ahead and do your round and I'll open mine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So yesterday we were in Oregon. Today we are.
Okay. So that's San Francisco, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Got one.
Got one. You got Washington State.
I did. Yeah.
You did.
I did.
Ooh. Seismic Yarn.
Ooh.
Look at
There's
that.
a lot of reds and pinks going on, huh?
Yeah, and it goes to orange. I don't know if you.
Oh, that's orange. Oh,
well,
when
and
it was
red. I mean, it's a like
oh,
kind of.
I see.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
So this is from Seismic Yarns, and this is their Aftershock base. Butter.
Awesome.
Oh, it's called Seismic Aftershock is the color. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's on their butter sock, which I can see why.
Does it feel nice?
It does. I mean, it's merino nylon, but it's 85-15. It feels very nice. It's their Aftershock, Seismic Aftershock. It says base, butter sock, and then over the Golden Gate. Nice. SeismicYarns.com. Yay.
.com.
See, paired with yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
well, I'm doing mine. Day 12.
Okay. Day 12. What you got?
What do I have? Where did I put the one from yesterday? Oh, I put it over on my desk already. It should be the same exact yarn as yesterday.
Yes.
Because
So
we needed to for the project we're doing. So
for the project that we don't know about yet.
But you know nothing about.
Okay.
You know nothing. So it's another DK from Foula Wool. And it should be the same mix.
Mm-hmm.
Two fun, one wicket, or one fun.
Pattern day is when for this?
Tomorrow will be pattern day. So this is, so Foula Wool is a smaller maker, so less stock. So we went with the stock that they had available.
Okay.
And the designer worked with that. And that's how some of the designers had to do, just because like it takes a full year to get stuff through processing and spinning and dyeing and everything. And so we had to contact some of these makers and be like, I need this much yarn. What colors do you have in those quantities, kind of thing. So.
Right. Because like we heard from Ronnie, they only have one processing per year.
Yeah.
From the mill. So what they have is what they have for that next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Ooh, that'll be fun to see what your pattern tomorrow is. So how many yards is that?
So this is 52 yards. DK 52 yards.
Okay. So 100.
I learned something the other day. See, I would call this a marl. I would call this a marl, right? It's two colors spun together. Okay. Right? But technically speaking, and this does qualify as a marl, I will say that.
Okay.
But when the ratio is 2 to 1, that's when it's a rag. RAGG. So if you've heard people talk about rag wool or rag cotton or something, that's when the proportion is 2 to 1 with the color. So this also qualifies as a rag wool.
Okay.
So if for some reason you need a rag wool, Foula Wool's marls are actually rags as well.
Interesting.
So there's a little tidbit for you.
Well,
you're welcome.
If you got pub night, quiz night, now you know.
Now you know.
Now you know.
And the more you know, the more you win at pub night, I guess.
Hooray.
Hooray.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.